Hello, class. I apologize for it taking so long to get to the point where I could post something that was visual. And this is where I decided to land, keep it simple, and if we can get the Zoom system working in the near future, we'll move to that. Good to see you. I hope everybody's doing well. I know this is really challenging and that we're all having to adapt. So let's see what we can do today in terms of just trying to cover the essence of these three articles that I asked you to read. The basic concept here is that for your policy formulation discussion, you need to talk about what actors were involved and what was the nature of the relationship among the actors involved in the policy making. So, if you go back to the simplest model, which is probably the one that you could find a summary of in your American government textbook, you would learn about iron triangles. And what they were trying to describe for you is the reality that, for the most part, policy on specific issues is handled by those who are most interested in those issues. And so if you look at most of your topics, you don't have a lot of public opinion interest in the issue. It's not public opinion that generated the policy. It is a demand from an interest group, a request from a government agency, an idea of a legislator, all of whom are interested in this policy, have been for a long time, will be for a long time. So these networks of relationship are built relatively informally, just by the nature of them working with each other and being interested in the same policy area. You don't have formal meetings of a subsystem, for example. And so they are not institutionalized in the government, but rather this is a pattern of action among players that has emerged over a long period of time, and one that many scholars have been interested in. How does the agency, how do the members of the congressional committees that are dealing with the policy, and how do the interest groups come together, push and pull on their interests, and finally end up with a policy? The true iron triangle, though, is a situation where these people have been working together long enough that they now have fairly common agreement on what they think makes good policy, or at least they know what of their ideas are not going to fly with the other two parts of the triangle. In this sense, the iron triangle is often able to function at some distance from public view, write policy. The policy is then adopted on the floor of the House and the Senate because they trust these committees to have done their work and don't have the time to really second guess them. And so this is how much of our public policy is built. The diagram that you saw in some of the material I sent you tries to give you an idea about how each of the dimensions of the iron triangle benefit from this relationship. And so you have discussions such as you can get, if you're a member of the congressional committee, electoral support from the interest groups. You can also get funding and political support. And in return, the interest groups get less regulation and potentially special favors. If, on the other hand, you're looking at what are the advantages of the interest group obviously likes the fact that they're not having to fight public opinion. They're talking to others who have knowledge of the issue area and interest in the issue area and are going to be more amenable to the things they're asking for. So some of the other things they list here is that the interest group can get friendly legislation. They can get much less aggressive oversight if they are in this very cozy iron triangle. So essentially read that diagram as an attempt to show you that these are reciprocal relationships, that each benefits from the triangle.